if you found an office that doesn't already have a Google Business Profile, or this is actually good, any real estate agents or insurance people or anybody that eat what they kill, if your office does not pay attention to their Google Business Profile, you could take it over and manage it and say anything you get out of it, maybe I get a piece of or something. I've done that places, or take over the Facebook page or something. Actually, at that same firm, I said their website was awesome, but their Google Business Profile sucked. I was like, let me put a Facebook chat bubble on the website, because I knew they got lots of traffic. And guess what? Well, all these messages of people, a lot of times they're garbage, like any lead source, but since I set it up, they let me field those leads and hand them out or do whatever I wanted with them.
Today, we have a very special guest for all you entrepreneurs out there. If you're a business owner, if you sell products, if you have any type of service-based business, you're going to want to listen in. Today, we have a very special guest who is an SEO specialist who knows all things SEO and Google business profiles. His name is Derek Bixler, and he was born and raised in central Pennsylvania, has a passion for helping people to have a better experience when buying or selling their home in central PA. It also gives him great satisfaction to help people relocate to the area and show them all the wonderful things that central PA has to offer. He currently lives in Carlisle and specializes in serving the Carlisle and Boiling Springs, Pennsylvania area. When he's not chasing his 3 awesome kids around or working, he spends his time outdoors in the woods, mountain biking, rock climbing, hiking, or camping. He's held many leadership positions in his local association of realtors, has a vast network of real estate professionals around the country and the world, and is very involved in the real estate industry as a whole. Staying up to date, relevant, and informed for his clients is a top priority. Aside from real estate, he is heavily involved in digital marketing and owns and operates SearchBomb. SearchBomb is a Google business profile and digital marketing agency that offers creation, optimization, and ongoing management of Google business profiles and other online digital marketing and social media marketing assets. SearchBomb is led by Derek, who is a 17-year marketer and real estate agent. His success and passion in real estate was always in marketing. So in 2018, Derek founded SearchBomb to transition from practicing real estate to helping other real estate professionals and local business owners build their business through local search and other digital marketing and social media marketing services. Derek, super excited to have you. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I love doing these things. I haven't had my own show for a while because getting guests is like pulling teeth, as you probably know, and getting them to show up is another thing. And then getting the tech to work, as we experience, is another thing. So bravo to you for doing it. I'm happy to be here. Having it all read back to you like that. It always feels weird to like hear your life as I fed to you read back to me. But yeah, it's nice to hear. And that was a pretty good overview of who I am. You could probably boil it down more into a nutshell of outdoor, anything extreme. If I won't die though. If there's real risk of dying, I will not do that, because as you said, I have kids that I care about a lot. So breaking something, I'm fine with that. But if dying is in there, I'm not going to be down with that. Like wingsuiting through a needle hole, I'm not going to be doing that stuff anytime soon. But wingsuit just for fun in general, out in the nice sky, yes, maybe. So thanks for having me here. Ready to talk it up. And as you said, Google Business Profile is my jam. So whatever you want me to talk about there, I'm happy to geek out and give everybody some good tips to go home with.
Absolutely. I love all things extreme myself as well, but I try to stay away from street bikes and stuff like that. I'm trying to stay in one piece. So, yeah, absolutely love it. Love the energy that you bring. How amazing is it that through Clubhouse that you and I could connect? You're on the other side of the country and we met on Clubhouse, and how many amazing individuals actually pop up on there. So, from going from Clubhouse to you, us connecting, and then you sharing with me a few snippets of things that I could actually implement into my Google business profile that, I don't know if you're aware of this, actually brought me to the number 2 spot in a certain area by where I live, based on some of the things that you told me. Number one. Number two, I'm number 4. I know there's a lot of numbers in there, but I'm number 4 in another area, which is behind some big time people who've been working on their SEO for a long time. So, there's a few key things that we'll definitely get into in this interview, but that knowledge that you gave to me already is producing at a high level. So, first of all, thank you very much for that. I
You're
feel like
welcome. I'm
I feel
anxious to
like
hear
I,
what those things were that did the trick. I'm guessing
yeah,
they're the key
well,
ranking factors that you're going to probably ask me, but yeah, what
absolutely.
was it that you changed that you think did it?
Yeah, so the a few things that I changed, you just brought more awareness to me. That keywords and meta tags and photos, also products. I started implementing products into my Google business profile. So I can't pinpoint exactly what it is that made the switch. I think it was a combination of things, and people are like, "What the hell is meta tags? Like, what is he talking about?" Right? Because I
For a
didn't
product
even.
section, most people don't even know, especially if you're a service business. I don't sell t-shirts, so why would I even click on that section? So yeah, you're winning if you
Absolutely.
even have that in there.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I'm a local real estate agent here in Los Angeles and Ventura County. So we connect via Clubhouse, talk about everything real estate related with a lot of high individuals on Clubhouse. So, and we started talking, and you mentioned some practical steps of what you could do, which was add meta tags and how many tags. Like, I didn't realize, I could keep going on that tangent of. And then what another key factor was the location in the photo. And I was like, you could do that? That's insane. I had no idea. So on a Mac, it was simply like get info, and then you could actually put the location of the property. So, what is it about? First of all, what is SEO? And for those out there that don't know, what is SEO, and why should business owners even know anything about it?
So I'm going to have to address something here before I move on because this is one of the biggest myths out there about the Google Business Profile, and what you said and what I meant, people might take as two separate things. And I want to make sure you're doing it right also. So
Okay.
the location tagging of photos and like naming and keyword photos and everything, that would be for on a website. And I'm guessing that's what you're talking about, would be for any photos you're using on a website. They should be original, named correctly, location tagged properly, all that metadata. Google is going to crawl that and read that metadata along with everything else on your Google or on your website. On your Google business profile, however, there's a huge myth going around, and I even was part of it for a little while, and I had to go back and delete some videos that I had made years ago or whatever. But there was this myth that to help you rank in a certain place, you would location tag and name all the photos that you add to your photos section or as updates or whatever on your Google business profile, thereby proving to Google that you work in those places, and you would rank higher in those places. That's a complete fallacy. As long as you upload it to Google, as soon as you upload it to Google business profile, They pretty much strip all the metadata, and none of that. They don't read it. It doesn't matter. So that's a big fallacy. If anybody's watching right now and still painstakingly going through their photos before they add them, I'm going to name it 123 Main Street in Timbuktu, and then they're location tagging it. Google's smarter than that, so we can't game the system. Yeah.
Guilty.
So if you were doing that, you probably missed the very first sentence when I said, like, I'm talking about a website right now. So then you would have been correct. So definitely, like, the header image on your website should be all kinds of metadata. Should be a picture you took, not from Canva. Your logo should be tagged, but we won't get too deep into that. But I just wanted to start on that. So SEO in general is search engine optimization is what SEO stands for, obviously, but it is optimizing your, in this case, website or Google business profile, so that when people go to Google or another search engine, Bing, Pinterest is a search engine, TikTok is possibly a search engine now, but mainly Google or Bing or traditional kind of search engines like that. When people go to those places and search for a thing, you pop up either your Google business profile or your website, and possibly now other things like TikTok is being pulled into Google search too. So search engine optimization is what SEO is, and just optimizing your online assets so that when people search on different platforms for things, you come up to the top.
Beautiful. Great explanation. Simply put, what you type in, it's optimized to pull that website to the top of the page. So yeah, with businesses, I mean, why is it even important to have your profile pop up towards the top of the page? How does that translate?
So if you think about how anybody chooses a local business, period, and everybody at home, and you can do it along, go to your phone and tell me what you do to find a plumber or a realtor or an attorney or what. You pull up Google, you type in attorney, near me maybe, but really these days you just type realtor. And hopefully that's the keyword all realtors out there are striving for. They type in realtor, and Google is going to populate a certain type of results in the search results. This varies. Google changes what shows in there. Traditionally, people are used to kind of the blue writing with the link that you can click with a description, and that's a website. So you kind of have all these website results when you search for something. When Google came out with Google Business Profiles and Google Maps, now a lot of times the Google Maps listings supersede the regular Google results. And now you even have local services ads, which supersede everything. So if you searched realtor in wherever, all the way at the top, you're going to see local services ads, which are people's faces, the real estate agents you can click on and call. Then you're going to see a couple of those traditional web results, the blue writing with the description. And then you're going to see Google Business Profile results, which are going to be, that's what we're talking about right now. And your goal is to get in that 3-pack that we call it. Usually there's 3 there that they will show to people before you have to click more. And studies show that obviously people are typically picking one of those first 3. Even if they click through, most times they go back to one of those first 3. So that's what, I forget what the original question was, but that's why it would be important to have a Google Business Profile. Also, I guess I do this for a living, so I tend to skew towards the Google side and the Google Maps part of it. But if I'm looking for a business these days, that's the first place I go, is the actual Google Maps app. If it's a local thing, a restaurant, a plumber, anything local that's not a product far off, I'm going right to my Google Maps app, typing it in, because I know the Google Business Profile is going to give me their website. It's going to give me the phone number to call them right now. It's going to tell me where they are. It's going to give me pretty much a summary of everything I need in one place. If you're a restaurant, you can even order right on there. I now hate restaurants that I can't order right on the Google Business Profile. Like, why don't you hire somebody to get in the back end and turn the checkout on or whatever? But,
right?
Yeah.
That's where they need your help, buddy. You should be hitting them up. Yeah. So really, like, the more exposure to potential clients that we get, the more clicks that we get, ultimately, the more sales and the more business that we're going to experience and more revenue to our business. So we did touch base on a few of these, and people are like, Google business profile, like, what is that? I think, I've looked up.
If we say Google My Business, they might know then. This is formerly known as Google My Business, which is what all the actual SEOs still call it in YouTube videos, because that's what the layman still types in. But keep going.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, I mean, I've looked at realtors that are heavy hitters that don't even have Google business profile. So it's like, guys, what you're missing out on business, like, and nowadays, so let's talk about that. If someone doesn't have a Google business profile and they're just starting out, what are some of the key things that they need for their Google? Because you said it's a three-peat, right? You want to be in the top three. You have the option for local ads, which is a paid advertising. And then you have your website that can rank. So that's basically what you were referring to, or either way you were talking about on the map, you want to be the top three. So when you research a business, it'll give you top three before you have to click more. And then it gives you the rest of the business. So in order to help us get to that top three position for the Google Maps and Google Business Profile, are those two separate things? Google Business Profile and Google Maps, are those separate?
Same thing. So your Google Business Profile is your Google Maps profile, in essence. Yep.
Gotcha. So what are some practical steps that the audience could take today? Let's say they sign up and they get their profile up and running. What are some things that are going to help them? In a specific example, let's use plumbers, like you said. Or in this case, I'm a realtor. Most of my audience tends to be that way. But for any business owner, it's the same concept. So whatever we choose, let's just say plumbers, what can they do in order to rank higher on their Google business profile?
Oh, so everybody get out your pen, because I'm gonna rattle off some stuff right here. And
this
will
is
make
some
a
nuggets.
difference.
I'm telling. Hey, so, I want a portion of all the sales you guys get from this too. So
yeah, I'll generate an affiliate link for you so we can track these discovery calls later.
There you go.
All right, so I'll give you. We'll do like five top ranking factors. So the first one is, well, after we create it, obviously you got to create the thing. Go to Google Business Profile, type in create Google Business Profile, and create the thing. Number one, reviews. This is kind of an afterthought and an ongoing thing, but reviews is always it. The more and longer I do this, the more I learn that it's all about reviews. Google could put you next to everybody. It could put you number one, the 3-pack and the paid and the organic and everywhere. But if you have 6 reviews and all the other people have 25, 50, 100, 75, whatever reviews, people aren't going to choose to call you. So for conversion, reviews matter. And also getting reviews on an ongoing basis matters as well. It's a direct ranking factor and a direct ranking indicator for Google. You also not only just the number of reviews. So somebody with, say, 52 reviews who got 1 review every week for the last year could outrank the person that has 300 reviews, but they got all 300 of those reviews over the course of like 2 months, 2 years ago, and they've gotten like 1 or 2 since, and they don't reply to their reviews, yada, yada, and they don't have any text in their reviews. There's no photos in their reviews. It's just kind of garbage. So more consistency and recency can beat out the numbers also.
Love that. And I just want to, because for you, this is like, so quick and it's so common sense for you, but you said several key things there, which was consistent reviews over time. As time progresses, continuing to get reviews. And you also said something else that was really key, and I'm trying to remember. It was, I lost my train of thought, but there was one more key factor that you said in there, and hopefully it comes back to me. But sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah,
but
well, think recency and, like you said, consistency can beat out just sheer numbers over time. And that's the beauty of the Google Business Profile is it's kind of cumbersome to set up the first time. There's these products and what do I post as updates and all these service descriptions that I got to populate and all these things I got to fill out. It's much more robust than, say, a Instagram profile, which is like 3 to 5 things or something. But once it's all set up and optimized, really you're just getting reviews. It becomes a relentless review getting, which everybody should be doing anyway, but at least on Google, when you get them, it actually brings you to the top for when people with intent to buy what you sell are searching for you, which is where you want to be. So it does, I can't stress, you can see right here. Every time I do a video, I'm like, I need to change my board, but they're like, no, because everybody that I do a Zoom call with, everybody that I talk to, every podcast I'm on, this is pretty much, and myself, it's just a endless, relentless review getting game to rank better and to convert better.
love that.
So that's number one. We'll start with that because that's just, even if you didn't optimize, if you were relentless and awesome with like 1 billion reviews, recent and they're valid, you could outrank somebody that their profile is like filled out to the tilt and awesome. So reviews. Number two, I'll give you another. This is a nugget, and I got a video on my profile right now about it. Least known, most impactful thing for your Google Business Profile is the website that is connected to your Google Business Profile. So number one, they want a real website, not a link tree or a link in bio or a 10K card or any of those kinds of things. They want to see an actual website. A lot of times they won't even allow, if you try to put a link tree in there, they'll deny it. Or some people try to use, say, their Facebook page as their website on their Google Business Profile. They won't like that. Some people do get away with it. There are going to be anomalies for all these things I'm saying. But in general, they want a real website because a reputable business that Google wants to show to consumers would have a real website. People like realtors, if you have an out-of-the-box website, because I know websites can be expensive or hard to build or whatever, if there is an out-of-the-box easy one, that is fine. Even that will be better than using a link tree or something. So number one, you want an actual website. Number two, and I'm not going to go deep into this of how to optimize a website, but if your website is just regularly, traditionally local SEO optimized, your tags and your headings and your schema and all the code and all these back end things are kind of the right way. If your website is well SEO optimized, it will raise the rank of your Google Business Profile a lot. Like that's what it does. If you see another profile outranking yours, I'm getting more reviews. Mine's filled out like crazy. Mine looks awesome, but they still outrank me. Check out their website. Their website might be awesome. I used to actually be at a firm who was the epitome of this. They had like 2 reviews. They were both, 2 of them were bad reviews because they'd also do property management. Property management places always have terrible review sections.
Yeah.
And
People
they just
target
didn't care.
that.
Yeah. And they don't care about their Google Business Profile.
When you have a tenant that, is upset about something, property management's probably the worst business to have online because people always get upset and target them. But side note.
Nobody's going on there saying they really did an awesome job fixing that toilet. No, They don't take the time when things are good. But they sucked. Their Google Business Profile was terrible, but they ranked really high consistently because the website, they paid people lots of money to get them in articles and get backlinks. And again, I'm throwing around jargon, but they paid somebody a lot of money to make the website SEO optimized. So that brought the profile up. So the website would be the probably least known, most impactful, because the reviews, that's kind of obvious. I get reviews, I rank better, people choose me more. But the website is very little known. If you're somebody like a plumber or an electrician or a restaurant, any local service that might have multiple locations, you want to have a Google Business Profile for each one of those locations. And I would also have a location page for each one of those locations. So don't just use the main homepage for the restaurant. for the website in the website slot for each location. Each location should have a location page for each place. And then that, you know, DonnieSubs.com/downtown
Oxnard, or
yeah, yeah,
whatever
Timbuktu
location.
would go to the Timbuktu one, and then there would be one for the other ones. And then the homepage or the location page for that profile would reiterate in the tagline, in the site title, in pictures, in headings, just reiterating the location and what it is. So for realtors, it would be town realtor, a bunch of town real estate agent in, plumber in, town plumber, that kind of thing. So that's the simple way to SEO optimize it. Just shoehorn some plumber plus place or realtor plus place into your website a bunch of places, and even doing that without knowing much would get you some SEO juice.
So example, realtor in Los Angeles, you know, that's the location, and then tagging that. So, but still having your main site as this website, but then / a different, what do you call that? A different link on your website, which is Los Angeles, which is Orlando, or whatever location that's in. So good stuff. Very good to know.
So that's 2 for you. What are we at time? I don't know. How long do we go here? How long can I go?
we got time. We got half an hour if needed.
All right. So next thing, as far as setup of your Google Business Profile, 2 really main things, which are almost like switches. Like if you don't have them turned on when the person types the thing in, you won't turn up for the search. And if you do, you'll be towards the bottom. So number 1 is the title and the naming, which is pretty much the first thing they ask you. If you have created your Google Business Profile already, you can change it. And as long as you don't change it to some crazy weird thing, they will not suspend you or make you re-verify. But your business name should hopefully say the place and the thing you do. For most businesses, so for a realtor, it's easy. We're allowed to shoehorn in their keywords, keyword stuffing. You're allowed to keyword stuff the title to an extent with Google Business Profile, and it directly affects it. So for a realtor, I'm Derek Bixler - Carlisle Realtor - brokerage name. Having that Carlisle Realtor part in there is really important because it definitely affects showing up for Carlisle Realtor, Carlisle Real Estate Agent, Carlisle Real Estate, yada, yada. We as independent contractors or practitioner listings is what Google calls them. And there might be a few other instances of them, but realtors are somewhat unique with a practitioner listing. We're allowed to because that's kind of what we are. I am Derek Bixler and I am a Carlisle Realtor. So I'm not really keyword stuffing. I am, but that's within boundaries of reasonable, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. If you're a plumber, you're not necessarily allowed to do that. So if anybody was building a business from scratch, the optimal thing to do as far as ranking on Google, and I would do this, I would
name your company.
Try to get clever. Yeah, town, wherever your Google Business Profile verification pin, wherever your location sits, that's where you rank for. You're never going to rank far away. That's not how it works. It's proximity based. So if you were starting a plumbing business in Timbuktu, you should choose a location in the dead center of Timbuktu, the closest to center of town of Timbuktu, and your title should be Timbuktu Plumber or Plumber in Timbuktu.
Like the actual name of your business.
Yes, should be the LLC. Or you could, for those out there, you can do a DBA if you have already named your business and you don't want to change all the back end and the bank accounts and blah, blah, blah. You could just do a DBA sometimes too. So that's a big one.
But we don't give no legal advice here. Just saying,
no.
Check with your attorney, find out if that's legit, and go.
I don't know how to do a DBA. Just go do it, and then once you have that document, you can go ahead into Google. I do know Google. You could change it in there, and if they ask you for documentation about it, you send it in, and you should be good.
Beautiful.
Some people will feel compelled to, if it was JJ's plumbing to put a dash, like they want to put dash plumber near me in there, or plumber Timbuktu, and add that in there, which does help rankings. But again, with the plumber, you can't really do that. So that would be pushing it, and you might get suspended for that. And people could, you can report other businesses too if you think they're doing something wrong or egregious or whatever. So the naming and titling of your Google business profile can for sure directly affect your ranking and the keywords you show up for. Next would be the categories. So in the dashboard, it would be right under the name would be your categories. Your main category should be correct. I can't tell you how many profiles I've been in, real estate ones in particular, where they had real estate consultant or like staging, home staging as their main category and no other categories. Well, guess what? A home stager is not a real estate agent. I understand how they're trying to be kitschy and homey, or like, I'm your home guide, but we don't want to be kitschy or clever with Google. We need to be very literal. So we need to choose real estate agent as our category, or agency or whatever. And then any other ones that apply, you need to pick them. So if it's a plumber, I'm guessing, I don't know off the top of my head, there are a few. I know for real estate agent, there are at least 3 that you need to be picking: real estate agent, real estate agency, real estate consultant. If you're somebody like a plastic surgeon, they've got a whole bunch of different ones. Doctors, there's a whole bunch of different doctor types you could be. So you need to be picking every category, not just one. Most people, they set it up, they kind of pick the main one they think they are. Hopefully that one's at least right. And then they go about their business. But there could be multiple categories. And if you don't have it selected, again, when somebody searches for it, you'll be at the bottom of the list, if at all. And then in conjunction with those categories would be all the services. So when you go over to your services, under each category that you selected, there will be pre-populated, predefined services from Google. And you just want to select all the ones that apply. Do not select all the ones that don't apply. Click save. And those, again, are like triggers. If you're a real estate agent and you don't have seller's agent selected, then when somebody's looking for a listing agent or a seller's agent or whatever, you will not show up in the search, or you'll be demoted because you didn't have it selected. So you really want, if you're a plastic surgeon that does implants or
BBLs.
Botox, yeah, you need to select that. You need, and I know I hear gurus talk. I don't do any plastic surgeons, but I hear them talk about that one as a one that has a lot of different services and nobody pays attention, and you need to select all the right ones. Especially if it's a super niche thing, you got to have that selected so that you show up for that. So categories and services will be another big ranking factor. Location, like I said, proximity, it's all proximity based. So if I Google for something right where I'm sitting, if there's a business right beside me and they have assuming they have a good standing with Google, they should be number 1. And then as you go out, it will pull others in. So attempting to rank 5, 10 miles, 20 minutes, 30 minutes away. Like if you're in the suburbs of Boston and you want to try to rank in Boston, it's never going to happen. People still want to do it. Well, I want to put Boston in my title, and Boston and Boston. I get it. And they do serve the greater Boston area. And maybe it does make sense to say that because of humans reading it and resonating with people. But if you were being hardcore about ranking, you would be using Timbuktu, Timbuktu, Timbuktu everywhere to really reinforce and rank where your pin sits, where you're verified, and proximity to your business. So a hack there for real estate agencies in particular is you can use your house as with a practitioner listing. You can also use your house as your location. So that's unique a little bit with us too. You can use your house as your location. So if you have an agency, you got your agency Google business profile, tell all your agents, rather than everybody having their Google business profile right here and competing with each other, yada, yada, and everybody's trying to rank right here, so you're only ranking right here, spread them out, tell everybody to use their house, and you can hide your address so you're compliant. You're not showing a different address. It doesn't say you can't hit the directions button and drive to the house. It doesn't show the picture of the house if you do it correctly.
That's a nugget. That's a nugget. I did not know that. That's
so
huge.
change it to your house, you re-verify at your house, and you hide the address for agents or anything else, anyone else, maybe insurance agents. I'm trying to think of other people that have similar practitioner listings. Doctors do, but they're usually centralized, like at an office. But for real estate agencies, for sure, now you have proximity pins and Google Business Profiles ranking all over in the city, east side of town, west side of town, uptown,
Wow.
everywhere. So that's, if you're really doing it with a real estate one or something similar, that would be a way to really like dominate your local search.
That's crazy. So I'm doing it wrong, is what you're saying.
If you're a real estate agent or somebody like that and you're making that choice, and I've got a video on it, but I'll say it again here. That choice between, should I use the office location and compete with all those people and be there, or should I use my house? First question is, where do I want to rank? Do I actually want to, is my farm area, my target farm area, where the office is sitting, or is it where my house is sitting? If your target area is your neighborhood, you for darn sure should move it to your house, because if your neighbor searches, theoretically, you should be number one, even though your address doesn't show that you're sitting there, your business is sitting there, you are, as far as Google is concerned. So that's one choice. Where do you want to rank, the office or your house? If the office ends up being the one that you want to rank for, that's not the end of the world. Usually, like you said, everybody sucks at their Google Business Profile, so it shouldn't be hard to beat everybody
Whoa.
else.
I said that? Did I say that?
I think you said some large agents still suck at it, and they do, which is more business for me. That's fine. But most do. So don't be like, I don't want to use my office because there's 100 agents at my office. Who cares? None of them pay attention to their Google Business Profile. And even if they do, with a little work, you should be able to kill. Every office I've been at, I get calls of people trying to call the brokerage. Hey, is Greg there? Now you called
Perfect.
Derek, an agent at, you should call the office, or maybe, hey, do you really need Greg, or
Yeah, or
to
do
me?
you need to sell your property?
Greg owns the business. He's fine and doesn't even produce anymore. So if they were calling for him, it wouldn't matter. But yeah, so it shouldn't be hard to beat those other people. There are also other benefits to actually having a physical location and your address showing. One being, it shows as a pin on Google Maps. So if somebody's just looking at Google Maps, and you see McDonald's is here and the scenic overlook is over here and all the pins, you will not see a pin for your business if your address is hidden, but you will see that pin if you have a physical address. And if you beat everybody else, your pin will be the pin. It will basically choose. It's not going to show a bunch of pins in one address. It'll kind of choose one of those agents or one of those profiles to be the one that kind of shows. So you'll have a pin. Go ahead.
I'm so glad that you shared that, because there's some females in the industry that I was explaining this to them, and it's like, but at the same time, they don't have a physical location. And in my mind, it was like, well, we don't want them to put their address out there, right? And whoever, whether it's female, male, like some people just don't want other people, the public, knowing where they live. So this is like very key, and I'm so grateful that you shared that with us, because that's and you still show up within your area. So most of the time, most realtors, plumbers, or whatever service industry, whether it's attorneys, if they don't go to a physical location, if they're in a ritzy area, like out here, it's called North Ranch, where, there's a bunch of celebrities and whatnot that live in the area, they could pin that location. They don't have to share where they live. It doesn't have to be public, yet those people that are high-end clientele will now populate their page. So that's a very beautiful thing. Thank you for that. Huge.
Yeah. And I'm sure Google is getting more and more easy with using your house as there's always been people that work from home, and that's a legitimate work from home business is legitimate, but even more and more now, like you said, even attorneys, I bet even doctors, telemedicine and things, there's probably all kinds of people doing things from home that
Absolutely
never did before. Yeah, totally. So proximity is a huge thing. Choosing that location, if it's a new business, again, pick the dead center of town and name it that town plumber or that town whatever, and you'll be crushing it.
Nice. Love it. So that was just to review. Number one was reviews, I think. Number two was location, or number three was location. Number two was, what was number two?
Here, I'll read them off to you. I think I got them. Number one was reviews. Relentless review getting now, tomorrow, month from now, whenever. If you run out of customers to ask for reviews, just go ask your cousins or anybody that can give a review. If it doesn't show up, then 'tis the game. They won't show up. We didn't talk about that. That's one of the biggest. I got some reviews and they didn't show up. There's a help ticket. You can try to fight it or whatever, but it's not worth it. Just send your link to 5 more people and accept that some number of the reviews won't show up. It's because of the spam filters are on, and sometimes good reviews get raked in with it. But number one was reviews, relentless review getting. Number two was website, the least known, most impactful one probably. Then the naming / titling of it. Keyword stuffing, if possible. In some businesses, you can do that. Or if you're naming your business again, you could name it something that would rank you. The categories, what business category you're in, along with the services there. And then just remembering that your location is how you rank. The proximity is where you rank. And trying to rank far away from where your pin sits is going to be a struggle. There are ways to kind of increase your radius, but it really is going to be centralized around it.
Love that. Love that. And, multiple locations. So I'm with a company called eXp Realty. So we have access to multiple different offices, and my mind's just pinging off right now. I'm like, holy smokes, I'm going to register there. And I don't know if that's going to affect me in a negative way, but I was just thinking I could potentially set up a Google business page for each physical location and verify my business there.
If they were all EXP offices and not named you, so if they were, because you're only one person, so that would not comply with Google. If it was like Sean San Jose dash Timbuktu Realtor dash EXP, and then you had Sean San Jose over here, Fresno Realtor, EXP Realtor, that's all one person. It might let it slide for a little while. Eventually, you'd get caught there. It probably wouldn't even happen at first, I would guess. The
dang it! I thought I was on to something. Come on,
yeah, but if you found an office that doesn't already have a Google Business profile, or this is actually good, any real estate agents or insurance people or anybody that eat what they kill, if your office does not pay attention to their Google Business profile, you could take it over and manage it and say anything we get out of it, maybe I get a piece of or something. I've done that places, or take over the Facebook page or something. Actually, at that same firm, I said their website was awesome, but their Google Business profile sucked. I was like, let me put a Facebook chat bubble on the website, because I knew they got lots of traffic. And guess what? All these messages of people, a lot of times they're garbage, like any lead source. But since I set it up, they let me field those leads and hand them out or do whatever I wanted with them. So if you work for a company and they're not utilizing their own online stuff, maybe approach them and say, hey, if I help you optimize it and do ongoing stuff, can I get a piece of it?
Nice. Love that. Yeah. So that brings me into my next subject, because here my mind is going chatbot. I go AI chatbot. And so that brings me to Chat GPT. And, I've noticed that it's pretty darn good at optimizing things for SEO. So specifically blogs, because I know you mentioned this on the Clubhouse. What I could have misinterpreted, because sometimes I'm working out, you guys are on there at 4 a.m. my time, so by the time 5 a.m. rolls around, I'm at the gym, but so I'm a little bit in and out at times. What specifically were you talking about as far as blog? Were you talking about towards the business profile on updates, or were you talking about on the website, your personal website? And what can people do with Chat GPT if they're a plumber, if they're an electrician? how can they better optimize their website using ChatGPT?
All right. So I'm not an AI expert, but I know how to use it enough for this stuff. And I might tell you not to use it for this stuff in certain cases. But essentially, blog posting, writing blogs is going to help your website SEO, assuming you do it in certain ways so that it does help your website SEO. Like we discussed, if your website SEO is on point, then it's going to help your Google business profile also rank better. So blogging and making your website more SEO friendly will increase your Google business profile ranking. You could also post your blogs as updates on your Google business profile. Some people like to do it. I don't. So the updates on your Google business profile, people are going to see that like once, twice in their life. When they need the plumber, when they realtor, they look for one, they look at a couple profiles, they pick one. Maybe when they come back to leave a review, they look at it. But other than that, they see your profile like once or twice ever. So everything on there should be structured in a certain way to just convert them to choosing me right now to call me right now. So posting learning things like a blog post on a Google business profile would not be something I would recommend, because we don't want to send them somewhere else. And they've already learned that we're not sending them living in YouTube channel. We're not trying to use our Google business profile to get website traffic or YouTube traffic or send people to our TikToks or something. It should be the opposite. If they find you somewhere else, they Google you to vet you, find your Google business profile, and your Google business profile is set up to seal the deal. Awesome reviews, talking about your unique selling proposition, what makes you special, how you do your work, and why they should choose you over that other Google business profile they're looking at right now. So it should all be geared towards your unique selling proposition for sure. So you could add blog posts as updates. I don't like to do that. I like testimonial posts and things like that help convert. Again, I look at when they're looking at your profile. Awesome. It's what I was looking for. Awesome. It's what I was looking for. Awesome. It's what I was looking for. And then they get to your updates. And if you have testimonials there as well, again, it's just awesome, 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 awesome. All right, I'm convinced. Call now. But you don't want to send them to the blog post. Oh, I forgot. I need to learn about that before I call somebody. Never mind. Go to the blog, do that, get lost, never come back to this person. So I wouldn't post them as updates. You could. Certain people do, and you might get some SEO juice for it, but I wouldn't. But I would do it on the website. It's for sure worth it on the website.
Love that. Dude, you're reminding me right now. Somebody came in, I think, through Google and was like, Sean, we love it. We want you to sell our, $600,000 piece of land here in Camarillo. And I missed the lead, man. It was basically a come list my property based on my business profile. And I looked back at where it came from. It was like September 5th. This was last night. I'm looking through my database, and it's answer the phone. No, I do that.
I'm changing that. You just gave me this podcast was worth it just to be able to change my board. All right, keep going, but answer the phone, people.
No, I definitely always answer my calls most of the time. When it's foreign numbers, then it's like, spam calls or whatever. But if they leave me a message, 100%, I'm getting back to them. But they emailed me and it came through the system, and I was like, what? Dang it. That was a lot of revenue out the door, but
which is exactly why we want them to call right damn now. Everything I do with Google Business Profile and search is these are high intent people. They've already learned. They've already decided I need a buyer's agent or a listing agent, or I need this kind of plumber or this kind of doctor or whatever. And they typed it into Google and they intend to pick somebody right now or pick a restaurant to eat at or whatever. So let's optimize everything. If it makes sense for realtors, for sure, call now button. All day long.
They ended up going to my website and then filled out a contact form through my website instead of calling me, and that's kind of how I missed that one. But anyways, no excuses here, only learning.
Speed to lead.
Feed the lead and also autoresponders. And that's why AI can be a huge implementation into your business. And not only AI, but certain CRMs that when a lead comes in, then X happens. So there's technology can be confusing. And yet, if we break it down step by step to figure things out in one thing at a time, you can utilize it to increase your sales to no end. So it is unlimited. It feels unlimited in capacity, but if I want anybody to get anything out of this podcast, is how important your Google My Business profile is. So, and Derek has gone into a lot of detail about it. Do you have any closing thoughts that you want to touch base on before we wrap up the podcast?
No, just everybody get out there and
Cool.
make sure you are in the place where people are searching for the thing that you do. If they are going there and searching for what you do or what you sell, and you are not there and not looking like the bomb, then you're not even going to get the business or get the shot at bat. So I don't know why you wouldn't be there. You have to be there. So get your Google business profile on point. And for those that say, I don't want cold, I don't want to get calls from random people. Sometimes people say I have enough business. Well, guess what? If Aunt Nancy refers you to somebody, they're going to go Google Sean San Jose before they call you. They trust Aunt Nancy, but I'm still going to Google dude. And if you look like garbage when somebody Googles you, when people are vetting you, then you might not get that call, and people miss out on business every day because people have vetted you and you just never heard about it. They just said, nah, for whatever reason, I don't want to call that person. So it should be optimized anyway for that, for sure.
So if people are sitting there like, Derek, what the heck did you just say throughout this entire podcast? Like, keyword, what is SEO? Where am I? Is this planet Earth or what? If they want to reach out to you, because I know that you help business owners, entrepreneurs, real estate agents, electricians, plumbers, all types of different businesses. If they want to reach out to you directly, what's the best way that they could do so?
Searchbomb.com. And here's a lesson.
I love that.
I don't have to spell that for anybody.
Searchbomb.com.
You shouldn't have to ask. If I said DerekBixler.com, you'd say, how do you spell Derek? How do you spell Bixler? So there's a end of the podcast marketing nugget for you. Make things, you don't have to spell it, dummy proof. So searchbomb.com. There's buttons all over the place to schedule a discovery call. We can talk, see if I can help you. If not, you'll probably get a few nuggets out of it anyway, because I can't keep my stupid yapper shut during a call. So you'll probably get some free nuggets. If I can help you further, that'd be great too. If not, that's all good. And if you schedule a discovery call, you'll be entered into my email list so that you can get tips all the time. And I'm always putting out videos. Like I said, a lot of things I mentioned, I have videos on. So we can get you up to speed and make sure you are crushing local search and dominating when people look for what you offer.
Love it. Love it. Hey, brother, thank you so much for your non-refundable precious breath today. I'm so grateful to have you on the show, and thank you for the nuggets. I mean, I'm going to go back. I'm like, my mind's firing off right now on all the stuff that I did wrong and the stuff that I need to implement. So thank you. I appreciate you, brother.